whenever you set an alarm in the morning, what I always say, I took this from the great Bedros Keuilian, who some of you probably know if you're in the Fit Body universe. He says that if you set an alarm, that is making a promise to yourself, and by hitting that snooze button, even if it's just for 5 minutes, that's breaking a promise, and that's setting your schedule off by 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is. If you're the kind of person that hits the snooze a bunch of times, let's try to bring that down and stop hitting the snooze altogether. Welcome back to the Beyond the Scale podcast. I'm your host, Jake Stewart. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about some really awesome stuff and some stuff I think is really going to help you guys out. To all those of you listening at home, we're going to talk about scheduling. Now, I'm going to go through a couple of things that you've probably already been told and a couple of ways to overcome those things and how to really create a schedule that works well for you. So a couple of things that you've probably already been told. If you listen to any high-level entrepreneur, high-level athlete, super in-shape person, anything like that, you've probably seen these YouTube videos before, like, hey, here's my day-to-day schedule. And on those schedules, it says, wake up at 3:55 a.m., hit the cold plunge at 4 o'clock. At 4:05, we're getting in and getting a workout done. At exactly 4:45, we're getting our nutrition in. We're eating our oats. We're eating our eggs, whatever it is. Then right after that, we're going to go into journaling, and then we're going to go into this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And they have their whole day down to a science within like 5-minute increments. It's absolutely crazy. Now, I know a lot of you guys sitting at home are probably thinking, I don't have my day that structured. Do I need to have my day that structured to be successful in my health and my fitness? The answer is no. So I'm going to guess that a lot of you guys at home probably can't wake up at 3:55 in the morning. Maybe you have kids and you're up late helping them with homework or putting them to bed. Maybe you have a job that makes you work overnight, or you work late and you're just getting home at midnight or just getting home at 1 o'clock in the morning, and that 3:55 alarm isn't going to allow for you to get enough sleep. I'm sure this is the case for a lot of you guys, like I said, that are sitting at home, and a couple of ways to overcome this. So let me talk about just the importance of having a schedule. So anytime that you do schedule things out, you're far more likely to actually complete those things if you've actually scheduled it ahead of time. That's why I always tell my clients at Fit Body Bootcamp, hey, at the beginning of the week, go through and book all of your session times. That way, it's going to be a lot easier for you to get them done. Because if you don't book the sessions and you just say like, oh, I'll sign up when I get there, it's a lot easier for you to say, hey, nothing's really on the hook here. I'm just going to go straight home after work because I'm tired. I don't really feel like working out, or whatever it is. So I don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed when you're creating your schedule. So I want you to create a schedule that works best for you. But the start of a schedule always starts the night before. So something that I always encourage a lot of my clients at Fit Body Bootcamp and anybody I really talk to is to set your time to go to sleep. Now, you can give yourself some grace here. So I always say give yourself a little bit of a buffer period of about 30 to 45 minutes, but you should be setting aside a time where it is actually feasible that you get into bed and you should be getting to sleep. So whether that looks like, hey, you can get into bed and be asleep by 9:30, awesome. If that looks like 10:30, awesome, no worries. And hey, maybe something happened, your dog ran mud all through the house or whatever it is, and you have to push that back by maybe 30 minutes or maybe bring it up by 30 minutes. That's okay too, but you should have that scheduled out, and that way, again, it's more likely that you're actually going to get into bed. So if you have that schedule and you start being diligent with actually maintaining that schedule, you're far less likely to be sitting on the couch and watching your favorite show and then saying like, oh, I can watch another episode. Instead, you're saying, hey, my schedule dictates that I should be getting into bed within the next 30 minutes. I need to get ready to get started getting into bed. So that's where I say everyone's schedule should start, is the night before. So once you've scheduled that night before, whatever time that is, make sure that you're allotting for about 7 to 8 hours of sleep time. Now, I know that doesn't seem feasible for some people, but trust me in the difference that it's going to make. Sleeping is going to help your body recover, especially if you're coming to boot camp or going to get a workout in a couple of times a week. Your body needs that recovery time. So that time is absolutely crucial. If you're torturing your body and only getting about 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night, your body's not having that time to recover, and you're going to wake up feeling groggy, which is going to make you a lot more likely to go get that big sugary coffee at Dunkin' Donuts or wherever you guys go. So you want to make sure that you allot for about 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And then, again, you should be scheduling your wake-up time. So regardless of if it's a weekday or the weekend, you should be scheduling what time you wake up and trying to keep that as consistent as possible. One of the common mistakes I see with a lot of people is maybe they have a job where they have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Friday. Then when we come to Saturday and Sunday, they don't set an alarm and they wake up at like 10 or 11 or noon or something like that. that's going to throw your body off of its rhythm. So I say in that situation, in terms of getting up, give yourself like a 1 hour buffer. So hey, if you usually get up at 5, now on the weekends, I would highly recommend setting a schedule to get up at 6. You still get that extra hour of sleep, which is really awesome. And I know a lot of you guys are always looking forward to that extra sleep on the weekends, but you're not throwing your body off, because if you throw your body off on Saturdays and Sundays, guess what? That wake up time on Monday morning is going to be extra hard. And we want to make sure that we're not having to put ourselves at a disadvantage on a Monday just so we can sleep in and sleep late on Saturdays and Sundays. So schedule the time you go to sleep, schedule the time that you're going to wake up, and stick to that schedule. One thing I always like to remind everybody, and again, you're not going to like to hear this, don't hit the snooze button. That is breaking a promise to yourself. So whenever you set an alarm in the morning, what I always say, I took this from the great Bedros Keuilian, who some of you probably know if you're in the Fit Body universe. He says that if you set an alarm, that is making a promise to yourself. And by hitting that snooze button, even if it's just for 5 minutes, that's breaking a promise, and that's setting your schedule off by 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is. If you're the kind of person that hits the snooze a bunch of times, let's try to bring that down and stop hitting the snooze altogether. So after you've scheduled the time that you go to sleep, the time that you wake up, the next thing is you don't want to wake up and just waste your morning. So regardless of what you're going to be doing in the morning, whether that's going to work out, whether that's going to work, getting the kids ready for school, whatever that looks like, don't set yourself up to fail by getting that phone out and scrolling through TikTok and scrolling through Instagram and all those awesome social media sites that grab your attention. That's, again, just like hitting the snooze button, going to throw you off of your rhythm. So now we've set our schedule to go to sleep, we've set our schedule to wake up, and now we're setting our schedule to get out of bed and accomplish something. So whether, like I said, that's getting your kids ready for school, going to work, working out, whatever it is. Then obviously you probably have your work day. Everybody's work day looks a little bit different, especially in the post-COVID era. Some people work from home. Some people don't start until 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning. So whatever your schedule looks like, just make sure that you're getting to work obviously on time, ready to go, and you're in a good mood because you got enough sleep going through your work day. And then post-work day, you should also be setting your schedule. So hey, what does dinner look like? You probably have already planned that ahead if you're setting a schedule. So hey, I know that I'm going to have this healthy meal and I've planned for it, because if you don't, again, just like if you don't plan your workouts throughout the week, you're probably going to be more likely to stop at that fast food restaurant because it's easy on the way home and you don't have anything planned. So there's no food at home and you haven't gone grocery shopping or anything like that. You want to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success by planning that out. Obviously, there's a little bit of wiggle room. If you're going out to eat or something like that, that's totally fine too. Just make sure that when you do go out to eat, making sure that you look at the menu ahead of time, so that way you're not tempted when the waiter comes around and says like, hey, today's specials are all these super unhealthy, carb-heavy, fat-heavy foods, that you can make a good decision of something that is rich in protein. So that's what we want to make sure that we're scheduling out. Another thing that I always like to talk about in terms of setting a schedule is you need to set a schedule for drinking your water. Most of our population is actually pretty dehydrated. You want to be making sure that you're drinking at least half your body weight in ounces of water per day. And I know that might seem like a lot, especially if you're the kind of person that doesn't like the taste of water or anything like that. You want to make sure that you're scheduling that out. One of the fun things that I always like to say is literally set a reminder. Most of us have smartwatches. I'm not wearing mine today, but making sure to set a schedule that says, hey, you know, they always say to stand up, but they never tell you to drink water. So just setting a reminder to yourself, hey, it's time to take down 10 ounces, 12 ounces, 15 ounces, and you can go up and up and up and build incrementally throughout the day so you can get that half that body weight in ounces of water. So these are all super important things in terms of setting a schedule. And remember that your wake up time might be 4 o'clock, it might be 8 o'clock, whatever works best for you, and is still allotting for that sleep time. Those are the most important things. And these are all the things that I tell my clients here at Fit Body Bootcamp and things that you guys should be following too. Hopefully this was really helpful for you, and I look forward to seeing everybody in the next episode.